you. But that's why I made that video on Friday. I was like, if she just wants something to push out, I can make a video.
Yeah, no, I just felt like for me, I have to do it.
Okay.
You know, like that's how
And
I
you'll
learn.
have it. Okay, so push T for text box. And make a text box. And let's start, we'll just go through each of the tools. So
Okay.
type of math problem they have to solve. And if I'm doing this with kids, I might put 2 math problems on there because just like differentiation, they're all simultaneously working. And so for your kids that are gonna go fast, you can say, okay, you go ahead and do the next problem. And your kids that are going slow, maybe just will have 1. Okay, so now go to add-ons at the top. Yep, open Pear Deck. And then do that draw, just click on the draw tool. Yep. And push update slide. Ta-da, so now that slide is a drawing slide.
So what does that mean?
Well, I'll show you.
Okay.
After. So go slide up at the top.
Slide, okay.
New slide.
Here, let me label this real quick.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
And then
It did not do a blank.
Again.
It did not do a blank slide.
You can do a link, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do a link.
Sure.
No, I was just saying it didn't give me a blank slide.
You can change it if you want to that
no.
slide layout. So
Okay,
maybe in the add title part at the top, what are we linking to?
Oh, yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna go back here real quick and so here we did drawing.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Here, this just will keep me organized.
Yeah, you're doing link, just so you can see what it looks like. The problem with the link, I always leave the link as like the last thing. So like I teach, and then the link is like when I want them to go do asynchronous, because it'll pull them off of Pear Deck, which for little kids, it's just hard to go back and forth. Even for the middle schoolers, it's hard. So I do have links, but it's usually like, okay, now I want you to click this link and go work on blah, 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 whatever.
So do I just type a link?
So go to insert, link, it's all the way. And then paste whatever link you want. You might have to go to another website. Yep. Okay, now do slide, duplicate. Now delete that link because you don't want it. This one is gonna be a website, okay? So instead of link, type website.
Okay.
And then click on the, you could pretend you have something there, but click on that website link.
Okay.
And let's see if Freckle, push next. Type in www.freckle, I don't know if it'll come up, freckle.com and see if it'll work. Yep, okay, update slide.
So you put the link on slide 2 and then it.
So this is 2 different tasks. The link is if you want them to go to an external.
And just click on it.
And just start working. So like I usually use that for any Google Docs. Like if I want to link them to a Google Doc that I want them to work on, I would do that. If I want them just to work on a website, I would do this. And then they can work on the website while you're presenting. Okay. It's all embedded.
Okay. So where is it? Oh, I see down here.
You'll see when we do the presentation. So go to slide, new slide, or yeah.
Okay.
This one is gonna be text.
Okay.
Just type some silly poem, it doesn't matter. Just type something. Okay. And then type a question. Highlight, or what is this about? I don't know. Something they can respond to.
Okay.
Perfect. And then push text on the right.
Okay.
And update slide. So now slide, new slide, same thing. And we'll do choice. Okay, click the choice button on the right. Next. Option A, stay at home. B, traditional school. Yeah, whatever. Good, update slide. And then on your actual slide, write whatever your question is. Like, how would you like school to look in the fall?
Okay, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Right here is stuff to dust with in the rag. So if you'll dust all of the flat surfaces in this room.
So we did draw, we did text. So we have one more, which is draggable. So new slide. Draggable.
Okay.
This, they've been liking the ice.
Don't tear up Jackson's things.
So let's do, would you rather? Just type, would you rather? And underneath that, do, lick a shoe.
Yes.
And then keep it on that same line. Or do a space, or
Right. Or no?
Or eat your least favorite food. And we only did one, but push that draggable tool. Push next. So just so you can see, for this one, you'd only need one dot, but just so you can see, push add another. And then do that drop down menu just so you can see the choices. So
why would you need that?
Like, why would you need the other symbol? Like, you could do the thumbs up or thumbs down. If you put a map on the slide that has that map locator, so they could actually drag to places on a map. Greater than and less than, there's lots of math symbols here. Like, do the math.
Okay.
Numbers would be, yeah. But the math symbols especially, like, you could set up equations and write a word problem, you know, and say, fill in.
Amazing.
Yeah. The only thing they don't have, what does the person do? I don't know what that is.
The person?
Yeah. It's just symbols. So if you're doing like map skills, I guess. It doesn't have letters or words. And I asked them, like, you can email them and say, hey, can you do this?
Right.
And they were like, we don't have plans for that yet, but what I've been doing is just like for phonics, I write a word in a color and then they have to drag that color icon. If that makes sense. You know, like if I write cat in red and I said, which one of these words is a closed syllable, they would have to drag the red icon. That was the only way I could, rather than dragging the actual word, but it still works. So,
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Because they can't drag words, but they can drag colors. So,
okay.
So push update slide. Okay, so push start lesson. I'm gonna first have you present this so you can see like the teacher's side, and I'll sign in. So the way I learned this is I just have Rowan and Keaton's accounts, and you could do this with your kids because I'm sure they have DeKalb County accounts. I just sign in as them.
Okay.
So I can sort of see it on both sides because I was trying to figure it out. I'm like you, I need to see it. And like there's websites that don't work, which is annoying, but okay, hold on. So here's the tricky part. You have that code. My middle schoolers have been doing great just they write down the code on a piece of paper, and then they type into their computer joinpd.com, and they connect that way. You can set up, if you go into Pear Deck settings, you can set it up where there'll be a link for Google Classroom.
Okay,
You can
I saw that.
push this straight to Google Classroom. And then you could also, what I was doing, because that's a new feature, is I was using this give students a link. And then before class, I would just, I would post that link. And when my kids came on Zoom, I would say, minimize Zoom. Go ahead while we're waiting for everybody, get into your Pear Deck. And it took, with my second graders, it took them probably a week of us doing it every day. And then they were able to do it without their parents. So it is doable. All right, so I have 2 going. So are you doing it as a kid too, so you can see the both sides?
I am.
Perfect. All right, so go ahead and solve however you want.
I'm just gonna put, oh my goodness. I do not have the right answer, but I'm just letting you know.
I'll show you both. They can also type, like I'm on a computer and it sucks to do it on a computer unless, you know, so that's an option too. Okay, so if you go to show responses at the bottom, yeah. So now click this like waffle, it looks like 4 little squares.
Hold on, I might have to move you all the way. No, the waffle, where on the screen?
It's on the left.
Oh, I got it, okay.
Yeah. So now you can see everybody's work. Right now you are projecting to everybody though. So that's why there's no names. So like if you did an activity where you wanted to show everybody's responses, like a would you rather kind of icebreaker thing and say, oh, look, this is where people, whatever, then you could project to the whole class. If you don't want to project, turn that back off, the click hide responses.
Okay.
Okay, go over here to these 3 dots. It's right next to where it says end. At the bottom, sorry. Okay. And go to, I usually do open a dashboard in a new device, but I'm assuming you don't have one with you right now. So go to open dashboard in new window. You should be able to get in. I don't know why it's saying that.
Oh, you know why? Because I think I logged in with my Gmail.
Oh, well, you'll still be able to upgrade for 90 days. So just push upgrade. It'll let you do it for 90 days. Should anyway. Do that one. So now this is what you are projecting right now. But if you had another device, so that's why I keep another computer. As people are working right now, like you can see all their responses.
Okay, and then
I don't know. The star I think is for you, so you can keep track of. Yeah, so you can write yourself some feedback. They can't write back to you, which is annoying, but you can continuously, like if you said, look back at whatever and fix this, and they do it, you can write them another set of feedback, like good job.
That's awesome.
So that's that drawing tool.
Okay.
Okay, so then go to your next slide. So then it's just like regular presenting. Okay, so this is cool. So even though you're in presentation mode, like you know how when you present in presentation mode, normally you can't click on the links? So this one you can. So I can click on this link still, even though you're presenting.
Okay.
So you don't have to do it, but that would.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it is working from my phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go to your next. Okay, so now this is the website. So if you go to the student one, you might be able to see it better. But they could work in Freckle right now as you're presenting, and then that way they don't have to go to a whole nother site and then you try to get them back to Pear Deck. You know, it's all right there embedded.
Okay, sorry, I got kicked out on my phone.
No, you're fine.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to go forward on my phone to the next slide.
Swipe. You shouldn't
Oh,
have to.
into
Just
Oh, clicked.
refresh. It froze you. Just refresh it,
Okay.
and then it'll open.
Well, it's like when it went to Freckle, then it starts me over.
On your phone, you're not on Freckle?
It says website, and then it says, oh.
Yeah, so then they can work in the
They
website.
see what I see. Got it.
So you won't see it on your teacher view. If you go to, there should be a spot over here on the right that looks like a chain connected. Oh, you know what? It's in the, that other window. Go to that other window, the dash. Yeah, there you go. So you could click that, and then you can see, you know, if it was a website that you were all on the same website, like I've done this with Flipgrid. I just embed a Flipgrid, like, how are you feeling about whatever? And they have to respond, and then I can see their responses roll in while they're working.
Okay.
Freckle, I guess, would be the same, right? Because you'd have a class plan. So you could see how they're operating on that website.
Right.
While
Okay.
they're doing it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go to the next.
Hold on.
Sorry, go back.
Too many slides.
I know.
Okay, so I
and
changed
that's the other reason I'm so ADD. I need like that separate screen where I'm just watching the dashboard, or I can't. Okay, so this is the typing. Yes.
Oh, I see. So even if I'm on my phone, can I type?
Should be able to. Like I can do it on the iPad.
Oh, I see. I had to hit answer question.
I don't know why it's not letting me.
Okay, and then I go to Don't Tell Me to see student responses right here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You can do it there. Now you're projecting though. So if you want it secretive so nobody can see, you go to that dashboard.
This one. I mean,
it's down at the bottom, I think. Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
And that's where you can give them feedback. And
now, how did I get to this one again?
This was those 3 dots down there.
Oh, yeah. Snowman.
Yeah, snowman. And it is easier if you're on a different, if you have that open in another device. Just one less thing to toggle back and forth on.
Well, I would have my phone or
you can do it that way. Mm-hmm.
I need to grab my charger real quick.
You're fine.
This is usually like, I'm about to die. Bye. All right.
If you go into your Pear Deck settings, besides Google Classroom, you can also enable Immersive Reader. And then what would happen is where you any place that you have text written, they can play it as an immersive reader.
Okay, so I go back over here.
You would have to go to Pear Deck settings. We can do that after.
Okay.
Let's just finish. Okay, go to your next slide. Okay, so then everybody responds. And this would be one where I would probably show the response to everybody because it's like a polling thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you could use that show responses icon.
Such a beautiful grid.
Yeah, so you could do it that way. You could also do these 4 boxes and then each person's do show responses again. Down here, show responses. Click those 4 little boxes up here at the top left. So now it'll show each individual's what they picked.
Okay. I guess if I were on the other one, it would.
Yeah, and then this has their names. The show response feature that's not the dashboard is just so you could project to the class without names, like how different people responded without embarrassing them.
Right. Okay.
Okay, and then the last.
And what does this do? Do I want to know about
Oh,
that?
that's, I don't like that. It's overlay.
Okay.
So it's fine for the polling one, but for the text one, it's just like everybody's text is on one page and I can't even keep up with it. It's fine for the polling,
Okay.
but it's everybody's responses at once. Okay, so then this is the draggable, and they can drag to their favorite response. And you
Okay.
can do up to 5 icons. You can only do 5 on a slide. I learned that the hard
Okay.
way. We were playing bingo and the kids were like, I'm out of chips. I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. So you drag, that's what you were saying, you drag the icon to the thing instead of dragging the text to.
Or if I had a sort I need to do this is mainly for phonics. Let's say I had a sort, closed, open. I would write my closed maybe would be red and open would be blue. So if they read a word like cat and then they would move a colored chip instead of moving the word.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go. You can end this. So now you've seen both sides because you saw your side and kid's side because you were doing it. So you would name it. So name it, yeah. And then save. Okay, so it'll close that. So now go to type in Pear Deck. Just go to the Pear Deck website. I think it's just peardeck.com. And then log in and just make sure you log in with your APS.
Oh, I don't need to set up my account. I just need.
Yeah, you just need to log in. It might make you anyway. So yeah, authorize with Google because you're going to sign in with Google. Yeah. Okay, so then first let's do your settings. So go to your name over here at the top right.
Okay.
And go to, my account. And then go to settings. It says your plan and then it says settings. Just turn all this on. So turn your immersive reader on and turn your Google Classroom on. That way now any slides you make with text, immersive reader will automatically pop on.
Okay.
Okay, so now go back to sessions up here on the left top and go to, because you were in your other.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, either way, it'll do this, it'll show these sessions. So go to the 3 dots.
It's weird that the one we just did isn't on here. Oh, because
you
I was
logged in your Gmail. So it's in there, but it's just in Gmail. So let's say you finished, but you want kids to still be able to see the presentation. You would like to turn on student paste, so then they can click through it themselves. You can end it, so nobody could get access again. Click that TV thing, not TV, yeah, that.
I knew what you meant. It does look like an old TV.
I just want to see. Okay, never mind. Close that. That just reopened it. I don't know why. Go back to sessions. I don't see. There is a way to do. Oh, because you did this with nobody else, right?
Right.
Okay. So if you did it with someone, it'll say takeaways. Let me just make sure. I'm going to look at mine.
Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah. And I've never used the takeaways, but I played with it a little. And now I don't know where it is. That's not what I want. No. So there is a way. Now I can't remember. It used to be right there. Maybe because I didn't close that one yet. There it is. Okay, so once you close it, so like this one I have closed, and I don't name any of mine because it's just summer school. But you can go to takeaways. You see where it says takeaways? And it'll create like a Drive document for each of your kids with their responses, just their responses. And you can type a message in there like, go take a look at how you answered that math problem and see if you could do whatever. And you can have them then asynchronously work offline. And of course, it's not gonna. Okay, so let's see, publish takeaways, and we'll see. This might have just been a demo, and I don't know if I did anything. See, so I could push each kid's takeaway straight to their classroom. So they could see. They're really funny messages. But when I did this once and I looked in my drive, I had each kid's takeaway, and it would push out to that kid because it's linked to Google Classroom, exactly their work. And you can make messages of what you can do with it.
How did you learn about this?
Skank School was doing this for their classes. And so I was like, oh, that's exactly, okay, so see, then it shows, this is what it would look like. And I could write, use this space to summarize your thoughts on the lesson. And then it has each slide. And this one I didn't do anything with, but theoretically it would have their work.
Oh, that's awesome, because then parents could go on their Google Classroom and see their work in your response, right?
Yep, and you could give feedback like, okay, you solved this problem using the traditional method. Can you go ahead and try to solve it using, I can't even think right now. You know what I mean?
Not traditional.
So you can just write, you can give them feedback, and they can directly type into this slide, and they can respond with what they thought about their lesson or what they need to work on or whatever. It's like an after continued work.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's
okay, show me the immersive reader.
What it looks like?
No,
I'll show you. I made you a Orton Gillingham. And I'll just share it with you. And then it's yours. You just make a copy and it's yours to keep.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So this first one was just me showing you that virtual thing. I mean, the polling. So you can erase that. I wouldn't use that for Orton Gillingham, but I was trying to do Orton Gillingham and embed what I was doing with you. Okay. So I made all my deck cards into slides. The kids were saying they couldn't see what I was holding up. It was aggravating them. So these are like my phoneme cards.
Awesome. So did you just make all of these, or did you find them somewhere?
I made them.
Oh my gosh.
So that takes a little bit of time up front, but then once they're made, you know, it's really easy. Like you're adding one card every 2 lessons or so, you know, depending on how they're moving. So I start with this. This is my sound deck. The ones in red are suffixes. I have them in red because it's the end of a word, just to cue that. But we do this depending on their kid. So this is for like a first grader probably, or second grade. They would still do it in terms of phonics. So it would be suffix S, more than one, and they do this silly thing with their hands, some kind of body movement, and then they do packs, pens, zzz. So it's still in terms of phonics, but I start teaching the morphology with the phonics.
Okay.
So that's all that.
Okay.
So this is a draggable. There's nothing on here because this is for phonemic awareness. So I'd say your word is black, and they would have to drag b, l, ak. They drag the dots. okay, change your book to and they change that dot out. So it becomes slack. And we do just phonemic awareness that way.
Okay.
I wouldn't really do this, but you could. This was just to show you the number. Oh, we didn't do that. There's a option where you can just type a number. So that's what that is. Letter formation, I've been doing with kids that have stylus, and they've been doing letter formation right on the screen because then you can see it. It's hard to do with fingers. They get really frustrated. But there's cheap styluses. So for tutoring, I've been having them get styluses.
Okay.
Sound dictation. So this is where I say A and they say A and then have to write it. If they don't have a stylus, I've been letting them just type it, and that's not what you're supposed to do at all. But they were so frustrated that it was like, okay, well, say it out loud then, at least we'll get 2 modalities. But they weren't, it just wasn't working. I figured in the end, it was more important for me to see what they were doing and give them feedback than have them practice it wrong.
Yeah, I know. That's the tricky thing about it.
Not what the Academy of Morton Gillingham would say. So.
Right.
Redword. Then I have I call it the jewel box. These are their review words to read. So that's that. Cool thing is, like stuff like this, you can put a word and then say, use this word in a sentence. Like if we're practicing there and there, you could do stuff like that. This is a game. I just made the Snakes and Ladders game with the Draggable. And then it's easy. They like that one a lot. It's easy though. Then you can just change out the words and.
Yeah, that's cute.
Word dictation is just word dictation. Same thing. I'll either let them type them if they have a stylus. They've been writing on the screen. Keaton has been loving Pear Deck. So even though we're not online, she always requests to do it on Pear Deck. I've been making her write on paper though, because she's here, which is a disaster, but whatever. Then phrase dictation, sentence dictation. This is the, we're not online, but the immersive reader. So let's just do this one then, just so you can see it. Immersive reader. It's awesome. It's my favorite thing by far. And by the way, this can all be done in PowerPoint too. It's compatible. I just like Google better.
I do too. I mean, that's what our teachers use.
You can do Pear Deck in PowerPoint.
Okay.
See if it works, hopefully. Okay, so do your code. Okay, let me just skip to that. Okay, so do you see, it's like down at the very, very bottom of your screen. People sometimes have a hard time finding it.
Yep, a book.
Yeah, the book icon. So push that. And then it'll turn that whole thing into.
His underwear is hanging on the lamp. His raincoat is there in the overstuffed chair, and the chair is becoming quite muddy and damp. His notebook is wedged in the window. His sweater's been thrown on the floor.
So now go to, and I can never remember, now I can't see, hold on. I'm gonna open it. So like click on, go to the book. You know, there's the 3 different types of things you can be on.
A book.
Yeah, at the top, there's 3 tools. One is like 2 A's. One is lines with a star.
Yeah.
So go to the book. And so here's where they could do that line focus. Like if you want it a single line or double lines.
Okay.
And then the picture dictionary is really cool. So click on underwear, the word underwear. Picture dictionary needs to be enabled, so it needs to be
I
green.
did. Oh, look at the underwear.
Isn't that so cool? And then you can have it read to you.
Oh, I see. That's awesome.
And then, so like next year, I'm one of the ESOL rooms. And obviously they still have to learn social studies and science.
Familiar.
So look, you can translate it into pretty much any language you want.
Okay, where is that?
So on right under the picture dictionary, it says translate. By word, or if you do by document, it'll do the whole document.
Oh, I see. By document. Okay, so let me go back. That is really cool.
Yeah. And you can slow up that speed. The speed you can slow down or pick up depending on how you want it to read to you.
Do you find that the kids mess with all those settings or no?
I haven't. They get better at it. They need a lot of practice. Just with immersive reader in general, on what they like. Even a lot of them don't know. But this is a Microsoft tool, so if you use any of the Microsoft documents, this is built in. It's pretty cool.
So how did you add the immersive reader to the slide?
Yours will work now. Any slide you type on. Remember how we did that setting, immersive reader in settings? Pear Deck? It was one of the things you clicked in Pear Deck.
Okay, so hold on, I'm looking at it real quick because I don't want to not know how to do that. I definitely need to know how to do that. Where? So I'm on Pear Deck, the website.
So go to your name.
Go to my name.
Go to account.
Okay. Settings.
Settings. And then see, we enabled it. It doesn't start out enabled. I don't know why, but
got it.
now,
So now
once it's enabled, any text, any slide you put text on will have that immersive reader as an option.
Okay, so I am now back on my Google slide, but where do I add?
You don't have to add it. It'll do it automatically to every slide you put text on.
Oh.
That's what's cool.
Wow. Yeah, okay. I thought I had to add it.
No.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It is cool. And that's great that APS has purchased the premium part.
I don't think they purchased it. I think they released it, Pear Deck released it to public school teachers.
Oh.
That is my guess, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe APS purchased it and I don't know. So this is what I was showing you. So I couldn't figure out how to get a book to show up on online and not make them like go to a separate PDF. So this website, Flip HTML5, is free, and you can load any PDF of a book onto there, and it'll convert it into a flip book, which is what
HTML.com.
HTML5.
Flip HTML5. Okay.
And I do not know how legal this is.
Right.
But I figure I'm not like having the kids download it. It's the same as me holding a book up in class and reading it to them. I don't know. I don't know what the copyright laws would be on this. But I'm using it.
Where did you learn about it?
Rowan had to do a flip book this spring and he hates writing. And so I found this for him to turn in a project that had to be a flip book. Like it was supposed to be, he wrote it on paper and stapled it, and it's just a nightmare for him. So I found this website that's free if you have a Google account, and he just uploaded a Google slide he had made, and then it turned it into a flip book. So then I was like, oh, well, that's all PDF based. I wonder if it'd work. And I had a PDF of this book and it worked.
Crazy.
Because if you try to put a PDF, like all the texts I have for kids are in PDF form. If you try to put that in as a website, it won't play it for them. But it will, because this is website based. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's how I've been doing it this summer, and it works great. Because then they can flip through the book while I read it to them.
Yeah. Did you use Storyline Online?
I did. I used it more for like pushing out stories for kids. But I wonder, I don't know if that'll work. I could tell you. Hold on. I'll try to switch. I bet you it will.
Just know that was a good resource I used. Like I did my reading mini lessons based off of that.
Yep.
And it at least made it easier for them to.
And it probably does because it's just a YouTube video. So let me see. So this is that website tool. And I just did.
I wonder if the kids would be able to go to it because
yeah, it won't work. I don't know why.
Because it's APS.
Maybe.
I mean, our kids always they couldn't do it.
So I can't embed that one.
Okay.
But you could do it as a link. I don't know.
But they still can't access it from an APS device.
Right. So then let's try it one more time. Hold on. Maybe that I had it different, but yeah, I think that's probably the problem because I'm logged in with my APS. Yeah. No, won't work. Annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. This is my read sheet. So a lot of times instead of controlled passages now, I just do read sheets because I can do more things with it. Like they read it and then they have to read it a second time and find all the words that have a suffix that means more than one and circle it. Or I don't know. I do lots of things with this. We do vocabulary this way. Syllabication. So this way they can do all their syllabication. I can see if they can do it or not, all on their own screens. And then I have a grammar deck the same way you have a deck for everything else. So every day they read article, 3 small words that describe a noun, the, a, and. This is their deck. And we just go through. And then we do diagrams.
Okay, so that's how you are getting some grammar in.
Yeah, and then we use that same sentence and it's all controlled and we do diagramming.
I don't even know how to diagram. That's not anything I ever learned how to do.
Me neither, but if you do like the next level of Wharton Gillingham coursework, one of the courses is grammar diagramming because it helps dyslexic kids so much. And then what's the last thing? Oh, and then this was a bingo game. So there's 5 icons. And I tried to make so there's 2 options for everything I say, 2 or 3 options. Like find a word that follows the CK rule. Well, there's 3 of them. So that way, if you have a group of kids, they won't all get bingo at the same exact time.
Right.
Because I learned that hard way too. I was like, oh, right. I gave you the words. They're all the same.
Right. I would have done the same thing.
So I will send you, that's sort of an OG plan. So I'm going to share it with you.
Awesome.
And you
You're
can
the best.
It might help you just even get started with what they share with you. At that other thing. Okay. So I shared that with you.
Okay, awesome.
But if Emily's like, yeah, I want people to do this, I would stick with people that definitely want to learn it or are ready to learn it. Otherwise,
yeah,
a lot of like, how do you start a Google Doc? I don't know. So, but I'm happy to do any kind of training you want, even if it's just like with you and Emily, and then you guys teach everybody.
Okay. I think that you gave me enough too that I can start building some things and just playing around with it. And I'm sure I'll be like, I had a question. But having this recording will help too.
Yeah, and there'll be people on your staff that can just take that original recording I made and roll with that too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Tell me if you need anything.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Bye.
Bye. Enjoy your kid-free time.
Yeah, for a little bit.